Are we recording? Okay, Arch is recording for me, so this, if it looks weird, that's why. Alright, we're going to try making makgeolli today. My first obstacle is that I don't have a steamer that's big enough for the rice, so I am going to try using my bamboo steamer that we use for dumplings. It's a bit small, so instead of doing 2 kilos, I'm just going to do 1.5 kilos. I got this jar from Kmart for 12 bucks. I'm going to use this as my fermentation vessel. But first step is that we need to wash the rice. Alright, so all the videos that I've watched and articles that I've read online say that you should wash the rice at least 10 times and make sure the water is completely running clear afterwards. They also specify that you shouldn't be too harsh when you're washing the rice, to just wash it gently. So I'm going to start doing that now. Some of the videos said this shouldn't be like when your harmony washes rice. It should be nice and gentle, like you're sending the rice to a day spa.
You can just undelete it.
Wash number 2, being very gentle. Still lots of cloudiness. Alright, so this is the 10th wash. Still a little bit of cloudiness in the water, so we might just do one more, and then we're going to soak the rice for a few hours. So let's just chip this one off. We'll do one more wash, and then we'll soak it. So we're going to soak this for about 3 hours and drain it for about 40 minutes, and then we will start steaming. So this rice has been soaking for just over 3 hours. So now we're going to drain it, and it's got to drain for about 40 minutes, and then we're going to put it in the steamer.
I'm getting it! I get it!
Okay.
Look at that.
Make sure we get all the grains.
Look at that. Look at it.
Alright, so the rice has been soaking for just over 40 minutes and the water has come to the boil, so we are just going to transfer the rice from the colander into the steamer. We've just got a bit of El Cheapo cheesecloth here just to make getting the rice out of the steamer a bit easier,
This is taking
so that the grains don't go through the cracks. So like I said, this is not the ideal steamer for this job. I might need to invest in a bigger one for future batches, so I can do bigger ones as well, but for this time around, I'm just going to try and fit 1.5 kilos of rice into the steamer, and we'll be steaming it for about 40 minutes. Really struggled to fit the rice into the steamer. As you can see, it's piled pretty high, so yeah, we'll probably need to get a bigger steamer for next time, but hopefully this doesn't do anything crazy during the steaming process. But let's put it on and we'll see how we go. Alright, lid's going on, steaming underway. Very, very full. If the rice continues to expand, we could have a problem, but let's see what happens. Alright, so the rice is almost finished steaming. I'm just going to get the next steps ready. I haven't worried too much about sanitation so far, but I am going to from now on, because once the rice is finished steaming, anything that it touches is then potentially going to go into the fermenting vessel as well.
And so if there's any bugs, any bacteria, yeast, whatever from the atmosphere or from my hands or anything, then it could go in there and potentially spoil the batch. So what I'm going to do is just put in this fermentation vessel some no rinse sanitizer. So this is a phosphoric acid based sanitizer that I use for brewing. This step wasn't in a lot of the makgeolli making videos, but it can't hurt. So it's just 1.5 milliliters of this Solasan stuff and then 1 liter of water. It really foams up, but it doesn't matter if there's still foam hanging around on any of the surfaces afterwards. The foam is not going to do anything bad to your brew. So put that lid on, give it a good shake. I did give this vessel a good rinse anyway, but I'm just going to add that sanitizer as an extra step just so that I don't do all this work and then end up with a batch that I can't use. The other thing I'm going to do is just sanitize this bench because I'm going to use this area to cool the rice down after it's finished steaming. So I've just made up some of this no rinse sanitizer just in a spray bottle. Again, I just have this on hand for brewing, and I've just sprayed down this bench. I'm just going to give it a wipe so that when I put the rice down to let it cool off, it's on a nice clean and sanitized surface. Alright, the rice is finished steaming, but unfortunately I discovered too late that all the water had boiled out of the bottom of the pot. So it boiled dry. I'm not sure what that's going to do to the taste of the rice and therefore the makgeolli, but we've come this far, so I'm just going to...
It's probably going to be the best makgeolli ever made.
Just going to transfer it to this bench to cool down, which I have previously sanitized. So, and then we'll mix it up with the noodle. Alright, the rice is cooling on the bench. It's probably a bit drier than what I want, but we'll just have to make do. While I'm waiting for that to cool down, I'm just going to prepare the noodle. So I did 1.5 kilos of rice instead of 2. I'm just going to go 150 grams of noodle. It should be 10% of the weight of the rice that you're using. Noodle. There we go. And to that, I'm just going to add 150 ml of water. Okay, close enough. Give that a stir. Once the rice is cooled down, we'll mix it all together. Alright, the rice is sufficiently cooled, so I'm just going to transfer it all into this pan and then start mixing it with the noodle.
Ooh, that's going to fall off the bench, mate.
You're filming, not supposed to be commentating. I'm going to add this noodle now. It's still pretty clumpy, but I'll be mixing it all together with my fingers with the rice. Chuck that in. And then I'm going to add 1.5 liters of water. I'm using bottled water here because it's going to be cleaner than the tap water and won't have any chlorine smell to it. close together. Get it all well mixed and no big clumps. Sanitize my hands before doing this.
Sure, mate.
Alright, last step for now. Into the jar. This is just that no rinse phosphoric acid based sanitizer that I was talking about before. Doesn't matter if there's bubbles, they will not affect anything. So, this is bound to be messy. No. There were some pretty big clumps of noodle as I was trying to mix it all together, which I couldn't break apart with my fingers, but I'm hoping they'll just naturally break down as the fermentation process starts. Alright, lid's going on. I don't want to make a complete seal because it's going to start to generate carbon dioxide and alcohol as the yeast get to work. So if I make it a complete seal, the lid might pop off or do something funny. But although there is, that looks like a bit of a gap in the seal anyway. So you obviously don't want any nasty stuff getting in, but you don't want to build up pressure inside the container either. So I'm gonna put this somewhere cool and dark, give it a stir tomorrow and see if we've got any action.